PR and marketing are two of the most important elements to business success. Today we have Phoebe Netto from Good Business Consulting, who has been advising businesses on how to get things right and working her magic so thoroughly to get them to their success. And I'm really pleased to say welcome.
Thank you, Irene.
Thank you for coming. It's really wonderful to see you, Phoebe. And I know that you've done so much work with so many different people. So could you just tell us the most important elements about PR and marketing and why people should actually focus on that?
Sure. Whether it's a small business, a large business, or even a not-for-profit, or someone needing to boost their own profile to achieve their goals, marketing and public relations are so important. If you think about any kind of business that you would normally see on TV, just because you see them advertising does not mean that you are going to invest your time and money and give it to them just because you've seen their advertisement. So public relations and marketing are really important for not just letting people know that you're there, but for achieving your goals by having them perceive you in a certain way, for compelling them to do what you want them to do, whether it's work with you, give them their money, give you their money. It's really important to have that right image and to compel people to do certain things and to feel about you in a certain way.
Phoebe, can you tell us what happens to people that don't use PR or marketing? Because I know there are a lot of people that are just putting ads in the paper. Is there a difference?
A lot of those businesses that would say that they don't invest in marketing or public relations are actually doing a lot more marketing for their business than they think they do. For example, there's lots of things that fall into that category, whether it's a business card, the signage, the friendliness of their staff, how they answer the phone, everything that gives someone an opportunity to perceive their business in a certain way is marketing it, whether that be good or bad for their business. So what they should be doing is, as they're already creating an image for themselves, is invest the time into making it what they want to be. The other problem that happens when you are not actively having well thought out marketing and public relations is people will fill the silence with what they want to hear. And people always revert to the negative first. So particularly with public relations, if you're not actively creating the reputation that you want and having the right image that you want for your business, people are going to fill that void. The silence will always be filled. So if you're not online, for example, there's a good chance that someone else is talking about you or stealing the limelight from your business. Whether it's not responding to complaints, all of those sort of things, that lack of marketing is going to be more harmful for your business than you probably think, because it actually is not just not doing nothing, you're actually causing negative attention for your business.
That's amazing. I don't think too many businesses really realize how important it is, and even if you don't say anything, you're actually saying something. However, I know that a lot of people would be really concerned about the costs. So is there anything like an example that you could give us if somebody would think that it's not for them because it's too expensive? How would you tell them the benefits of paying for PR?
Once you have an idea of how much money you have to work with, it's also about looking at yourself and how much time you have to be able to contribute. If you are a savvy business owner or a leader that's looking at marketing and PR for yourself, there's a lot of things that you can actually do to implement that marketing once you have the well thought out plan.
So is there anything like an example that you could give us?
Well, if you own a bike shop, rather than putting an ad on the Sydney Morning Herald online, or rather than sending out direct mail to 10,000 houses across Sydney, what you could be doing is narrowing down your audience so it's more targeted. So you're not spamming people, you're looking at exactly who you want to reach and go straight to them. A well-known way to do that now is through social media. What you could do, for example, is go to a bike blog that has a lot of readers and have a competition for the readers of the blog. That's much cheaper. Or you could go to a gym that specialises in personal fitness and have some sort of a giveaway or a competition for the members where they can have a product from your bike shop or a trial of one of your best-selling items. And that way you're actually reaching quite a lot of people, but it's the right people at far less cost. And it's a lot of things that the business owner can actually do themselves.
To do. Can you give us a good example of a good marketing position or a good step to marketing the business?
The best marketing examples are ones where you can see that they have taken a step back and had a good look from start to finish what their marketing and PR needs to address, what goals it needs to achieve. And it does that by going through the whole sales journey of a person, stepping in the ideal customer's shoes and going, how am I, one, going to get their attention, address any concerns that they have, and then compel them to not only do business with me, but later on tell their friends and family about my business, come back and give me repeat sales. So they've got a whole journey that they need to look at. And so they need to work out how they can address any concerns that might come up and take them by the hand to each step. A customer's not going to do it on their own. One client I had was going straight to the beginning of the sales process and then expecting it to go right to the very end where they're suddenly a loyal customer. And so they had a low sales conversion rate and were wasting a lot of opportunities because they were losing customers, potential customers, along the way. So what I did was I looked at what they were doing and where the gaps were. They were generating good awareness for their business. They were a personal insurance brokerage, so they were educating people that they existed and that they could do good deals for people. But there were a lot of needs that they weren't addressing, and so people were dropping off that could have actually become potential sales for that business. So they were doing radio advertising, which was quite expensive, and I took a look and they were actually achieving less than 10% return on their investment. There were a lot of concerns that weren't met, and once people heard the ad, there was no follow through. So we kept the radio advertising as a trial, and we implemented some steps. So once someone heard the ad, we saw, are they Googling the business? Well, yes, they were. They were interested based on the ad. So we gave them a good website. We gave them a website that encouraged people to hang around on there for a while, that would have their questions met, that would give them a sense of understanding of what this insurance broker was like. Are they caring? Meet the needs that they may have, showing that they're trustworthy. And then we got them to a point where they would engage with us further. Was it picking up the phone? Or if they're not ready to pick up the phone, they may want to read a blog. They may want to send the insurance broker a question. They may want to subscribe to his blog and hear some more of what he has to say before they decide to spend money on him. If they Googled him, we made sure that lots of things came up from someone else's point of view to show that he was credible and trustworthy and experienced. It's not enough for him to say that he's amazing, he needed other people to say it too. So we did that with some really good PR as well as some social media. And now we're not all the way there with him yet, but we're already getting over 60% conversion rate from the same radio ads because we looked at the whole sales journey for him.
And also, can you tell us the difference between marketing and PR? Because I know a lot of people think they're one and the same, or they can't tell the difference.
Public relations is one of the more misunderstood tools that often falls under the umbrella of marketing. Some people think PR stands for permanent residence. Some people think it is simply getting in the media. Some people think it's sending out a media release. It's actually a lot more than that. And it addresses a lot of areas that traditional marketing doesn't address. Traditional marketing is often very much, come to my website. Let me tell you about my business. Or give me your money. Or if I give you a discount, come into my shop. Whereas public relations is about bringing the business or the leader together with the followers or the potential customers and having a dialogue with each other. It bridges the gap. So that's why often social media falls under the category of public relations now. That's why people often think of media relations when they hear public relations.
So much advice, so much good advice. Now, what could you give to our viewers that would be something that they could actually take away, like 3 good points that they could actually work on?
one very important thing that everyone should do when it comes to marketing for their business is set some time aside and write a plan. I suggest you do this with someone separate from your business that understands marketing, so they can add a third person or independent point of view to that. And that plan should be written out, and it should address those steps that you expect somebody to go through. The second thing that anybody should do, and again it will save money, is to really work out who their ideal customer is and only target that ideal customer. Sure, there's other people to target, such as sponsors, referral partners, but the majority of your effort needs to be very targeted. So have a look at who you've been doing business with. Who brings in the most business? Who is loyal? Who refers you? Who takes the least amount of your time to make a sale? Who do you enjoy working with? And then create a profile. What are they listening to? Who influences those people? And really focus on getting their attention and meeting their needs in particular. The third step, and this can be done from your desk at home today, is to have a look at what people are saying about you, what people think about you, what your reputation is. Are you in the magazines that belong to your industry? What are people saying online? Take a look at what people are saying about you on social media, such as Twitter. And if they're not talking about you, well, that's good, because they're not saying bad things, but they're not saying good things either. They're probably talking about your competitors. So have a look at where you should be talked about in a positive way and fill those gaps with good news.
Thank you so much, Phoebe. This has been wonderful, and I'm sure the people that are watching us will have the information that they need, and also they know where to go for help.
Thank you very much, Irene.
That was the amazing Phoebe Netto from Good Business Consulting, and you can get in touch with her through Twitter, through her website. All the details that you need are here on the screen.